This week's episode of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon really digs into the central conflict that's been building, and for the first time this season, it feels like the story is finally gaining some real momentum. What stood out most is the tension between Daryl and Carol. Daryl's laser-focused on getting back home as quickly as possible, while Carol is starting to feel a strong pull toward the people of Solaz. That difference in perspective creates some pretty powerful drama, and you can already tell it's going to shape the rest of the season. I'll admit, after last week, I thought we'd be stuck in Solaz for a while, but thankfully this episode pushes beyond the town's borders as Daryl goes scavenging for boat parts. That's where we get a better glimpse into how the politics of these communities work. It's the classic Walking Dead formula, a group that seems good on the surface, but underneath, it's really just authoritarian control dressed up as democracy. Outsiders aren't trusted, loyalty is mandatory, and any hint of dissent isn't tolerated. It's very much the kind of social structure that's going to cause big problems for Daryl and Carol moving forward. The fallout from Daryl killing an El Alcázar soldier is also huge. The way he fed that soldier to the walkers instantly puts the whole town on edge, and now he's under suspicion everywhere he turns. That underlying mistrust adds another layer of danger that makes things much more tense. At the same time, the episode develops a few side characters in ways I wasn't expecting. Carol finds herself in a new romance, while Daryl ends up reluctantly taking on someone who depends on him. And then there's that forbidden love story between Guillermo's wife Elena and Paz, the roaming cowboy type. Their chemistry is genuinely touching, but the threat of Guillermo finding out is hanging over every scene. You can just feel that confrontation coming later in the season, and I don't think it's going to end well. One detail I really appreciated is that the show is finally letting Daryl curse. For years, The Walking Dead held back on that, and it always felt like something was missing, especially if you've read the comics. But here, it works so well with Daryl's personality. His blunt "who the F*** is Alba" line when Carol presses him about staying in Spain had me laughing out loud. It's exactly the kind of dry, sharp humor you'd expect from him, and without the censorship, it lands perfectly. The episode also takes small but meaningful steps toward exploring Daryl on a deeper level. We see a flashback to his rough childhood that sheds light on why he's so guarded, and there's a touching moment when he leaves Laurent's Rubik's Cube at a memorial. These scenes don't take up a lot of time, but they add emotional weight and show that the series wants to do more than just send Daryl on a European road trip. That said, I do think the Walker presence is way too minimal this season. Yes, The Walking Dead has always stressed that the real villains are people, not the undead, but we're in a zombie apocalypse here. Aside from one brief sequence, there isn't much danger from walkers, and it makes things feel a little too safe. The tension would be a lot higher if Daryl had to deal with more threats outside the walls. Visually, the old Spanish architecture still adds that Western edge, even if the spaghetti Western vibes from last week have mostly disappeared. Instead, the focus shifts to power struggles and community politics, which feels a little more familiar for this franchise. The show is juggling some interesting ideas, but it still doesn't feel entirely balanced. Some parts are thrilling and fresh, others feel like retreads of what we've seen before. So what did you think of this episode? Do you like the way they're handling Daryl and Carol's conflict? And do you think the forbidden romance is going to blow up sooner rather than later? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm really curious how you all feel about where this season is headed.